What's going on YouTube? It's Kojo back with another video. So I'm not actually sure what we're gonna call this series. We might call it Ask Dr. K, Ask Dr. Kojo. But essentially, I'm getting these DMs, on my Instagram messages, and I'm getting a lot of really good questions. And of course, TikTok is my favorite place to post. But at the same time, I'm not able to explain everything in 7 to 10 seconds. So that's why I like the YouTube format, so I can really go in depth and really provide you all with some value. So I'll get straight to it. So let me read the question. That says, "Hey man, huge fan. I don't know how often you check your DMs, but I had a question that maybe you could help me with. I have liked this girl for a long time. Like the first time I laid eyes on her, I fell in love with her. That's not a joke. Okay. But I was too afraid to do anything with it. And then a few weeks later, she started dating my best friend. I know that sucks, but I'm not really looking for a way to do anything with that. They both make each other really happy." Okay, all right, go best friend. But after she started dating him, I fell into a small depression, nothing huge. It was just hard being around her and stuff. We are really great friends, so I was more wondering if you had any suggestions on how to, number one, get over her, and number two, how to move on with my life and get over the small depression that came with it. Thank you so much for the help. All right, so this is a really good question, and there's a lot to unpack here. We need to take it step by step. So let's first of all, as a mental health professional, let's talk about the depression. So obviously I can't, say whether it was clinical depression or, whatever was going on, but it appears that you had a slump where you were quite sad for a period of time, and clinically, like, as providers, we're taught to treat depression as a serious issue, because it is. So you want to figure out what's causing the depression. Is something causing it? Sometimes you can't really pinpoint what's going on, but in this situation, I'm looking at it, now once again, I'm not saying this is clinical depression or situational, but it appears as if the situation is kind of working together to kind of not put you in the best mental spot, and so that's what I'll say about the depression. And obviously I always advocate for people to get professional help, whether it's therapy or seeing a psychiatric provider and getting meds. Like, I'm always a big fan of getting help, because depression is no joke, if that is what indeed it actually is. Now, when it comes to liking the girl for a long time, look, there's a lot going on here. And I'm not sure where to start, but you said you laid eyes on her for the very first time and you fell in love with her, love at first sight, which I might call that infatuation or lust. And sometimes that can progress to like a long and healthy relationship, but sometimes it might just be like a passing and transient thought. But I respect where you're coming from, and you said that. I'm stuck here, honestly. I'm stuck because you're saying that you're really great friends with this girl, but then you wanted to be with her and you couldn't be with her, and then now she's dating your best friend. And my thing is, you asked how to get over her and how to move on with your life. And I think when you want to get over somebody, it's, a lot of people can get over somebody that they liked or somebody that they dated in many different ways. But I feel like you make it very hard on yourself. Trust me, bro. You make it very hard on yourself if you want to get over somebody while you're around them a lot. So that's why I think people who, let's say somebody's in a long distance relationship and they break up, I think those, a couple like that, or the individuals after the relationship is dissolved, they have a better chance of kind of, moving forward, because they're not having to run into their, ex all the time. Like, you're not seeing your ex at work or at the gym or at the grocery store, or at home. Like, you have space. So for you, it's going to be difficult if you continue to hang out with her, in my opinion, in my, personal, non-clinical opinion. You make it difficult to get over, this situation if you're hanging around with her. And my thing, I'm a big fan of intentionality. So I believe that all good relationships have like an element of a strong friendship within it. But there's a big difference between a friendship between a man and a woman. Whereas, okay, we're just friends, versus a romantic type of thing, and if you give off the friendly vibes, it might be hard to, that's what we call the friend zone. Like, if you're buried deep in the friend zone. It's tough to rise from the ashes and emerge as somebody who she views as this is somebody who I could date. So it's very difficult to I can see how somebody could struggle trying to get over somebody if you see them every day, if you're talking to them every day, if you're calling them every day, if you're sending them a message with the hopes that they'll get back to you. Like she might text you and you might get that that excitement, that dopamine rush. But it's once again, it's a passing type of thing. It's a transient thing. You feel great for a little bit, and after that, you go back to feeling bad because your expectation of things is not reality. So you, in your world, right, you would like things to work this way, but this is how it actually is. So when reality doesn't meet up with your, expectation or what you would like to happen, that can be a pretty sad thing. So I would definitely say, you have to create space between you and this person. And if she's dating your best friend, let him have it. And they would start this noise in the background, annoying noise. I don't know why. My neighbors decide to get their backyard done, but we'll keep going. But if she's dating your best friend, I mean, it's confusing because if that's truly your best friend, did your best friend know that you had feelings for this girl before he started dating her, or how did that type of thing happen? Like, that's what I'm curious about. Or did she date him because she knew that was your friend? So a lot of different things could be going on here, and honestly, I don't have enough information to know exactly what's going on. And even then, even if I did know all the details, I might not be able to give the most appropriate answer. But I do believe that there is such a thing to where you can struggle with getting over somebody that you never dated. I've seen it a lot. I see it all the time. And a lot of times people think that you have to date somebody and break up with them to like go through that whole process where you're grieving a relationship. No, you can grieve something that you've never actually had. Because maybe in your mind you had some semblance of, okay, I'm with this person, or I see myself heading this direction, like we're gonna go like this, and then it takes a turn for the worse where she ends up with somebody else. So I'll definitely say, if you can create some space within her, and the next time you like a girl and you're pursuing her, maybe make your intentions clear and let it be what it is. And if the person's not, if they don't see you as a romantic partner, then I would probably, honestly, if let's say you meet another girl, right? It's a different situation where you meet another girl and it's love at first sight or whatever. If you meet a new girl and you like her, I would move with intention, show that you like her, take her out, whatever you want to do. But if at any point in time you feel like she sent you the message that, I don't see you I see you as a friend and just that, at that point you've got to move on. You've got to move on. I think sometimes you can kind of push yourself in the friend zone. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the situation is to where she doesn't like you like that, and sometimes, in our society, people struggle to be honest sometimes because it's, nobody wants to be the bad person, the bad guy, and have to say what's up. So sometimes people use euphemisms and say, oh, well, maybe we'll see, or I'm busy, or, things like that, which is a nice way of saying, hey, I don't like you like that. And there's nothing wrong with that, because you might realize that you do that to girls you don't want to be with. Like, you'll give them the runaround the same way girls who don't want, who don't see you like that will give you the runaround. So my thing is, once you realize that, hey, this is not working out, and a lot of times people realize that, but you try to be in denial of it. Like, okay, I could see that she wasn't really into me, but you want to kind of, force the issue, and that's dangerous, because a lot of times you might turn yourself into the guy that she likes, but then you have to keep it up. So you might actually get the girl, you might actually take her on all these trips, and you might actually, get what you want, but you're having to spend so much energy being this person that you're not. I think this is really stressful. So the older you get, I'm not sure how old you are, and I don't want to guess off of the picture or the message, but the older you get, at least for me, I value peace over a lot of things. There's not much more that's better than peace nowadays for me. So peace is so important, and if anything threatens my peace, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, whether it's a family member. We have to have a talk, and I gotta put some space between me and the thing that's taken away from my peace. It's just that simple for me. So that's how I would say to get over her. You want to get over her, stop hanging out with her. I mean, of course, if she needs something, like, hey, like, I'm a friend, like, I have your back, but to be texting her every day, and you need time to remove yourself from the situation, to clear your mind, to clear your thoughts, and to move on with your life. For me, here's my thing. And another guy has asked me, what should guys do after a breakup? And it's funny because I kind of looked at what I do, like, after a breakup, and I stay very busy. Obviously, I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Twitch. I just bought all this Twitch equipment right now, so I just figured out how to hook up the little controller to the PC and play Madden and Rocket League. So obviously I have a lot going on for myself, and I consider myself to be a full-time content creator. I just took a 3-month contract, so now I'm doing psychiatry again, and I like to make myself busy, and I'm also in the middle of writing a second book, which I'm kind of back and forth on. So I like to keep myself busy, and for me, when the busier I am, I feel fulfilled. Like, I'm doing things, I'll go to the gym. I have a Twitch stream on tonight. By the way, I go live on Twitch Monday through Wednesday at 6 p.m. on the West Coast out here, 9 p.m. on the East Coast. And I'm actually trying to figure out a time to do a special Twitch stream for my UK supporters. I'm not sure if you're from the UK, but my UK supporters, it's always like 2-3 a.m. when I go live on Twitch. But that's I'm getting off topic now. The main point that I'm trying to drive home is that you have to make yourself busy, and if you're a young male, it's difficult because when you don't know where you want to go with your life, it's tough because as men, sometimes we're judged based off of what we do for a living or how much money you can bring in. And I like, the fact that now we understand that, that stuff doesn't make you a better man than the next man. Like, you're not more masculine because you make more money or you're stronger, you're taller. Masculinity is whatever you define it to be, So you have to figure out what you want in life, how you can best provide for yourself. So exhaust yourself and become busy doing things that you enjoy. Like, what can you do by yourself that you need nobody else to be around you to do? And I love hanging out with people. I love hanging with my roommates. I love going to the beach. I love just meeting people out here. Like, I'm new to California, so I like going around doing things, but at the same time I like being by myself too. And I know that I got my 2 electric bikes in the garage, and I can ride with somebody, I can ride by myself. In fact, I just rode and I had my dog with me. We went for like 3 miles. I could do that every single day. I don't need somebody else. When it's time to watch football, I could do that. I don't need anybody else. I can watch old sports highlights, or I can go to eat at a restaurant by myself, and I don't need somebody else. But there's times when you want like a group of people to be with you, or you might want a lady to come on you on a date and things like that. But the key is to be independent, because you want to come from a position of like abundance. Like, you have all these different options. Like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So whoever you're talking to, you're bringing them into your world, as opposed to you, just kind of lounging about, staying at home. And a lot of the work that we do, professionally as mental health clinicians, and like for me, when I was working back in Virginia, we have different therapies and different strategies that we use to help people out. And like cognitive behavioral therapy is one thing that I love because it works on your mind. We're gonna take your mind and how you think, and we're gonna transform that. We're gonna transform it. And I literally want you to believe in yourself. Like, I want you to hype yourself up. And, when you're doing things and you're up and you're moving and you're shaking, it becomes so much easier to believe that, okay, I'm on track. I'm doing this. I feel good about myself. But when you stay at home and you perseverate over, this girl didn't like me, or this didn't happen, or girls might not think I'm attractive. Like, once you start to take that type of mindset on, then the next time you go out and you try and get a girl's number or something like that, and she says no, you take it personal. And she could have had a bad day, like maybe something happened to her pet, but you'll take it as, she doesn't like me, I'm worthless, and then the negative thoughts start to dominate you. And this can happen the other way too. It can be, a girl can feel this about a guy, and girl, guy. It's just a human thing. Anybody can feel bad about themselves. So it's very important, and the things that you tell yourself. And like if you watch my Twitch streams, you know that I say things like, I tell myself positive things every day. In fact, I tell myself things that if I said out loud, it would sound arrogant. So I wake up in the morning, I'm brushing my teeth, I'm like, Kojo, you're the best. You know, you take the best care of your patients. You put out the best content online. You like all these things that if I said it out loud, it would come off as if I'm arrogant. But I'm not saying these things out loud because I don't have to tell anybody. It's more so things that I tell myself over and over, and I start to believe it, and then I want to become, you know, actual like I want to embody that whole mentality that's in my mind, you know, as I tell myself this stuff over and over to drown out the negative thoughts, you know. So it's a mindset thing, and that's what I would say. At the same time, you did mention depression, and if it is in fact clinical depression, look, clinical depression is no joke. It's not something that you can just shake out of a funk and just tell yourself, oh, I feel better, and then you go out and you have a new girl. Like, clinical depression is a serious thing. So if it is in fact that, you know, I always recommend getting professional help, talking to somebody in your area, you know, therapy, meds, whatever the case may be. But if it's more so of a situational thing and this girl is just trying to play you, whatever the case may be, I would say like the mindset, like the things you tell yourself, the people that you hang around. You know, if you hang around people who make you feel worse about yourself, I'm like, I ain't trying to hang out with them, you know, too funny. Like I'm a stay to myself. But if you are around people who make you feel good, you know, like after you leave an interaction with people, you're like, okay, like I feel better about myself. You know, like if you watching this video makes you feel better about, you know, yourself, then maybe you should watch more of my videos. Maybe you should join my Twitch stream. Maybe you should watch me on TikTok or something like that. Or even if you click this video and you see like in the YouTube section where it says suggested videos, if you see other people who are talking about similar things about confidence, getting your mind right, taking care of yourself, if you see similar things like that, then, you know, by all means go follow them. And if you feel better after watching that type of content, then just keep it up. So those are my thoughts on that. I hope I was kind of focused for you, because I started to go off into football and a couple of different things. But the main point of the video is I do believe you're equipped to move on past the situation. I just have to get a little bit of help, whether it's professional help or whether it's some type of self-help, you know, techniques and strategies that you do. But I do feel like you're on the way to getting through the situation. So just, you know, keep it going, don't give up, and yeah, get some space between you and an old girl. You know, get some space. But until then, for you and anybody else who's watching on YouTube, y'all take care. Follow me on the social media channels that I talked about. And of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel. But until then, peace.